Hello. Let's see if we start letting people in. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. I'll go ahead and play some music while we give a few minutes while everybody joins in. But go ahead and feel free to put in the chat where you're coming to us from and what school, what chapter, what company. That way we can get to know where everybody is joining us from. Welcome. I see the chat is going. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody again. Feel free to put in the chat where you're coming to us from, your name of your chapter, your company, while we give it a few more minutes for other people to join.
Pensaba que contigo iba a envejecer. En otra vida, en otro mundo podrá ser. Este solo queda irme un día y ver por el cielo a ver si te veo caer. Me ven solo y triste, no me hables.
Hello, hello, everybody. We'll give it one more minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. Hello again, everybody. All right, we'll officially get started. We're 5 minutes past, and we'll go ahead and officially get started. My name is Alejandra Baez. I'm with the SHIP events team. I'm the senior events manager, and I have the pleasure to introduce you guys to Christine Brown-Lynn, who is our senior director and who will be presenting today's webinar. Take it away, Christine.
Thank you, Allie. I'm grateful to be here and so excited that I can't even believe that we are just about a week away from National Convention. I'm sure many of you are just as excited and getting all things ready. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, not to waste anybody's time. And for those of you that have other friends that are clearly attending National Convention, please make sure you share the webinar afterwards so that they can get all the proper information. All right, Allie, if you want to share the screens, I'd appreciate it.
All right, and I'll go ahead and share the screen. All right.
Thank you. All right, so just a quick overview of all the things we're going to kind of cover today. I know it feels like a lot, but I promise I will do my best to be as brief as possible, but also get you all the important information. As I think somebody put in the chat, just make sure you put any of your questions in the Q&A and we will do our best to make sure that we answer them. As obviously everybody can't participate by asking questions, that's the easiest way for me to see them and make sure that we get all of your questions answered. I will hold all questions and answer them at the end so that we can just get through everything. So definitely put them in there. All right, Ellie. All right, so first and foremost, make sure that you come and say hi to us. We're the staff for SHIP National. We have quite a few of us that are going to be on site, as well as committee members, regional leaders, board members. We will be in some very bright lime green shirts that say convention staff on them. You are welcome to ask anybody with a convention t-shirt on for information. So this is your best way to get additional details around the convention center. You just have a question where the restrooms are, you need to know where the food hall is, so on and so forth. You're welcome to find somebody in a lime green shirt. So just want to go ahead and point that out. As I also mentioned, we have our board of directors, our regional leaders. They love to engage with our members. So we also are going to have about 100 SHIP members who are going to serve as our convention committee and volunteers. Everybody, again, will be in these lime green shorts or a volunteer vest. So if you would like to say hi to anybody, we would love to engage with you. All right, this year, National Convention in Philadelphia. So for those of you up in the Northeast, I'm sure you're really excited that convention's a little closer to you this year. I know I'm looking forward to some cooler weather, maybe. Wednesday, October 29th to November 1st at the Philadelphia Convention Center. So just to give everybody a high-level overview of the convention center, this is a map that's just going to give you some good details about where everything is and a little bit of the lay of the land. So this year we are going to have 2 entrances into the convention center. One is going to be on the first level, which will be at the Broad Street entrance. That is our street level entrance. And one will be on the second floor, which is the Grand Hall. The Grand Hall is accessible. There is a first level entrance that is on, oh goodness, Market. You can enter there. There's actually a public train station on the first floor. You can take the escalator straight up to the second floor, or you can enter in through the connection through the Marriott. So those will be our 2 entrances. There will be security check at both of those 2 entrances. We do also have a very limited ADA entrance on the corner of 12th and Arch. You will need to have told our event staff that you have a accessibility need in order to access that entrance. Additionally, you'll see that we have a lot of activities going on where our food hall is. That's a new feature this year. That is in Hall E. Hall D will be our interview booths. Hall C will be registration, and halls A and B will be our career fair. That whole second floor is continuous. You can walk the entire floor, start to finish. You won't need to go anywhere else once you're on the second floor. We are also having our SHIP Central and our SHIP Mercado are in the Bridgeway, and I'll get a little bit further in some other maps that'll make it a little bit clearer for you all, just giving you kind of a high-level overview, as well as our University Village will be on the second floor. Downstairs is a majority of our workshops, so whether that's our track workshops or our general workshops. We also have our staff office downstairs if you need anything. That office will be located downstairs. And then on the top floor in the terrace ballroom is where a lot of our general sessions or signature events are going to be housed. All right, Allie. So as I mentioned, the first floor Broad Street entrance is going to be one of our entrances into the convention center. This is street level. There's quite a few of the quite a few of the hotels that are part of our Hartwell package that are on that side. So you may enter through there. It might be the easiest entrance for you. As I also mentioned, the other entrance is on the Market Street side. You can enter through the first floor, take the escalators up to the second floor. That'll get you to the Grand Hall. We also have the Reading Terminal, which for those of you who have never been to Philadelphia, it is an amazing food hall. Like I think there's probably everything under the sun that's located in there. So I would highly recommend you all check it out. You will love it. Just something to note in particular about the 100 or the street level workshop rooms. The 115 to 125, you can enter in through Broad Street and access all of them. The ones that are around the 100s to the 114, you will need to go upstairs and cross over and come back downstairs. You will not be able to cross. There's actually physical streets that run in between the downstairs buildings, so we will not allow anybody to go outside and back in. We don't have security set up in that middle area, so you do need to go up and come back down. So just a note. All right, Allie, you can go ahead. So as I mentioned, on the second floor, everything is continuous. Food hall is a new feature this year. We will have quite a lot of seating in the food hall. The food hall hours will be the same amount as the building hours, but we will actually have concessions set up in there on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 11:30 to 3:30. So you can purchase food at the food hall Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 11:30 to 3:30. This is a cashless area. So make sure that you have a card to pay with. That's the only way that you can access concessions. We do have seating for, I think, about 5,000 people in the food hall. So there's a lot of seating options. There is some limited options for charging stations in there. So just a note, this is a new feature we're having this year. We're really excited about it, but it gives everybody a place to kind of convene and hang out, catch up on emails, so on and so forth. So interview booths will be right next door in Hall D. Registration, code check, and career fair lineup are going to be in Hall C, and then our career fair is going to happen in Halls A and B. A new feature this year is going to be our University Village. This is really exciting for us. All of our academic partners are going to be housed in the Grad Expo. So we're really excited. We hope all of you stop by and say hi to all of our Grad Expo partners. Across there, we will have our community college track as well as our graduate track. We also have some of our STEM research competitions happening in this area. So we're really trying to make this one cohesive area for all things academic related. So we are excited about this new University Village. In the Grand Hall area, you will find our Ship Familia sign. So if you'd like to take some photos, that will be located there. And just above the Grand Hall, there are some staircases that go up to a ballroom on the 3rd floor. But Ali, you can go to the next one. In the 3rd floor, ballrooms A and B, we have a lot of our competitions housed in there. So academic Olympiad, cybersecurity, advanced degree showcase, all of those will be happening in ballrooms A and B, as well as the Friday night attendee social. I just want to mention, you'll see there's a kitchen behind the ballroom, so it is not continuous. You need to go downstairs, head towards the breezeway there to get up to the 3rd floor. The main things that I would say attendees are looking to access on the 3rd floor are quiet rooms and our proctor rooms. So if you need either access to those will be located on the 3rd floor lounge area. And Ali, I'm just gonna have you go back one slide. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention something. I also just wanted to mention that Ship Central and Mercado are gonna be in that breezeway bridge area just above the 200 rooms. So just a note. Thanks, Ali. All right, getting there and arrival. So I'm sure many of you, hopefully, have already booked your travel arrangements. The closest airport is the Philly International Airport. There's also trains, obviously, that go into Philadelphia too. So for those of you in the Northeast region, you might be taking Amtrak or another train commuter in. Options to get from the airport to your hotel, we would say rideshare, Uber or Lyft, a taxi. There is also public transit called SEPTA. And their fares are located there. There's also additional resources located at Discover Philadelphia if you need any other additional details. Our main headquarter hotel is the Philadelphia Marriott downtown. This is the hotel that is connected to the Philadelphia Convention Center. We will be having a few receptions at this hotel, mainly the evening receptions, but there are a couple of daytime events that are happening there. So just note when you're looking at your sessions on your agenda that you double check where the sessions are to make sure that it's not located at the Marriott side of things. I will just mention there are a couple of ballrooms that we are utilizing that aren't physically on the Marriott side. They are actually on the convention center side, but they are part of the Marriott property. So definitely just be sure that you check out the maps before you arrive to make sure that you know where all of the events are. Hotel information, for those of you that have booked through our hotel system, Merritt's is our hotel partner. This is their customer service line. So if you have any questions Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you're welcome to call this hotline and they can assist you with any of your hotel information. They will also be on site in Hall C Wednesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. if you have any other questions regarding your hotel or lodging. And this is strictly booked through Ship's website. So if you haven't booked a hotel or reservation through us, Merritt's probably will not have your reservation information and wouldn't be helpful. All right, helpful hints for hotel travelers. Make sure you have your confirmation numbers with you when you arrive. Anyone that's registered for the room to check in together if possible. Do not do roommate swaps at check-in. Should be done prior to traveling. Determine who will be responsible for incidentals. If you're using a credit card or debit card for the deposit, usually a hold will be placed on the credit card. So just take a note that it'll take a few days for it to come off of your credit card. And if you're using cash for the incidental deposit, I don't think they will refund it at checkout. Other helpful tips, remember sound carries, so we want to be respectful of anybody else staying in the hotels. Hotel doors slam easily, and then make sure that you abide by quiet hours. Packing list, I think most of you are probably seasoned travelers, but just make sure to bring comfortable walking shoes. It is actually, the convention center spans 4 street blocks, so it is a very large convention center. So make sure you have comfortable shoes to walk around in. Anything that you might want to dress up in for nighttime activities, business professional, clearly for daytime. Toiletries, medications, pajamas, sweater. It could be cold. We are heading into Philly for October, so I would definitely check the weather before you depart. Business professional attire, anything for interviews or career fair for sure. Dressy outfit if you're eligible to attend the Star Awards Gala on Friday night. Closing fiesta will be party attire, laptops, tablets, lifetime member pin if you're a lifetime member, don't forget to bring it. Backpack or messenger bag to carry anything in, and then cell phones and chargers. All right, what can you do ahead of time? Make sure you verify your resume is uploaded to the online career center. This is really important this year. I'm going to talk a little bit more why as I go through the presentation, but a lot of the companies are doing pre-solicitations through the career center. So I would highly recommend that everybody get their resume in there, and I'll explain why a little bit further on. You might want to check in with your chapters for any last minute instructions, dress code, group meetups, anything. Verify what hotel you're staying at and how you're getting there from the from the airport to the hotel. If you need to let any of your professors know that you will be at convention and not attending class, and then make sure you download the app. It's available both in the Google or the App Store. So I would highly recommend. We're doing a lot of things through the app this year, a lot of push notifications. You'll find out a lot about specialty items that you can add to your attendee schedule. So just make sure you check in there on the regular, but I would highly recommend you get the app downloaded. All right. As I just mentioned, make sure you look at the app. Exhibiting companies will all be listed in there and their profiles. Make sure you fill out your profile so that everybody knows how to connect with you. There will be the option for you to introduce yourself. Make sure you build your schedule. This year, we are doing a lot of things based on reservations. So it's a new system that we're trying out. Eventually, we would love to have the whole convention go on a reservation system, but this year we're going through a limited amount of things that are going to be on a reservation system. So in order for you all to access those items, you will have to add the session to your attendee hub. And that will be your reservation. Your QR code on your badge is what's going to actually get you access into those sessions. Practice your elevator pitch. Obviously, we all know what we're here for, so make sure you're ready to go. And then read any of the ship FAQs online. There's a lot of important information in there and probably will answer a lot of questions that you may have already asked. All right, the attendee hub. I know I've kind of been highlighting this in different iterations throughout the presentation, but definitely get in there, get familiar with it. There is a lot of information. You can find sponsors, you can add to your schedule, there's community options. You can find a lot of the floor plans for the Career Fair Expo. So a lot of the information that you're looking for is probably right at your fingertips once you get into the attendee hub. Registration and badge pickup. When you get to the convention center, I just want to let everybody know the convention center is going to open at 6 a.m. every single day. 6 a.m. is when we are also going to open up registration lines Wednesday and Thursday. So we will allow everybody in the building. So as soon as you get through security, you can head straight to registration. It's going to be a seamless flow. This has been intentional. The train station actually opens at 6 a.m. So we are just going to open up the entire building at 6 a.m. But I cannot stress enough, we will not allow outdoor lines. So please, no lining up outside. Philadelphia Convention Center does not own the street space outside of the Philadelphia Convention Center. We will have police that are patrolling the convention center, and they will not allow lineups. 6 a.m. is when doors will open, and that's when everybody will be allowed into the convention center. Just want to make a mention, some of you will be coming from the airport. I would highly recommend that you go to your hotel first and use their bell service. and drop your luggage with them, even if you can't check into your hotel yet. The reason being is that we are doing an open gate system this year for security purposes. So it's a walkthrough system, but the security team has alerted us that usually luggage can set it off. And if that does happen, they will have to pull you aside and they will have to go through luggage. So I would highly recommend that if you don't need to bring any luggage on site, that you take it to your hotel first and leave it with Bell Service and then head over to the convention center. I think it'll just keep things moving more efficiently and you won't have to wait in line while they check through any of the luggage. We do have coat check in the circumstances that you do want to leave a coat or a small bag or some other personal items. The cost is $3 per item per day, and it is cash only. It is located in Hall C. Make sure you have your mobile app ready to scan for self-serve check-in and your government ID named for verification, your ID badge. We will be on site to assist you. All right. Again, I want to just stress everybody, make sure you get in the attendee hub, make sure you check that you have everything correct in your profile. We are going to be charging a $25 reprint fee for anything that is incorrect on your badge. So if you show up and your badge has incorrect information, we will charge $25 fee to reprint. And this is really just to keep the lines streamlined. We're doing a lot this year to make sure that lines flow very smoothly. And we don't want to hold anybody up because we have to then go through the whole process of reprinting. So we really want to encourage all of you to look at all of your information before you get on site. You will also get a lanyard. Lanyard colors mean different things when you're on site. The registration team will let you know what color lanyard you have and what it gives you access to. And again, make sure you enjoy convention and use a lot of our social media hashtags. Excuse me. All right. So as I mentioned, a couple of things, there's a lot of information in the attendee hub. All attendees are in there, so it's a great way for you to connect and find other people. Sessions for surveys, our maps, agenda, speakers, exhibitors, sponsors. We will also be utilizing the CVent app to do push notifications. So you might get some updates that are really important through the app, so I would highly recommend that you download it. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Ali. All right. Some agenda highlights. So as I mentioned, Wednesday and Thursday, registration is going to open exactly at 6 a.m. when the building opens. We also have convention readiness. We have a brand new thing I'm going to get into a little bit further called the Leadership Wardrobe that we're really excited about, but community gatherings, Mercado, general workshops, opening ceremony, hospitality suites, graduate networking, all on Wednesday. You'll see that there's a lot of things that we say you can't miss. So opening ceremony, national meeting, ribbon cutting, career fair, and closing celebration. So I would make sure you have those. We do have some interesting items this year that are considered reservation required. As I mentioned, these are the items that we are asking everybody to add to their agenda ahead of time. So you'll see all of our sponsored box luncheons, our STEM luncheon, our sponsor industry luncheon, and our Star Awards Gala. Mainly, these are our catered events. There was an email that went out a couple weeks ago that released some inventory of seats where people could add them to their attendee hub and add their reservation. We will be releasing an additional amount of seats probably later this week. So I would check your emails as much as possible. Watch out for the ship email. As soon as that goes out, we will make additional seats live and you can add them to your agenda. Invite only would be our hospitality suites this year. I'll get a little bit further into that a little bit later, but hospitality suites have changed. They are invite only by the sponsors. Interview booths, of course, you would need to be invited by a sponsor, and then our lifetime members reception. All right. During the event. So make sure you go by and check out all of our wonderful workshops. They're all listed online right now, so you can get a lot of information on there, start planning out your day. We have a lot of amazing speakers, so just make sure you get in there, start checking everything out in the attendee hub in the app. We do have a meet and greet scheduled with our Star Award winners. There's one on Thursday and Friday, so we would highly encourage you to take a look at who's going to be at either session and see if you'd like to stop by one of our meet and greets. We're really excited about our Star Awardees. National meeting, we will be giving out prizes, so you will have to be present to win. And we will not announce winners until the end of the national meeting, but we would definitely recommend everybody join us for the national meeting. Lots of great information coming your way. There are definitely a few photo ops all throughout the convention. We encourage you to take advantage of them and post on social media. And I can't stress this enough, you have to wear your badge at all times. Otherwise, security will stop you because they will think that you're not an attendee. All right. Interview halls. Those are for pre-scheduled interviews only. There is a check-in process and there will be an exit survey. So just make sure you leave some extra time for that. We also have a study hall and quiet areas available on the 3rd floor. So if you need a quiet room or a proctor room, we have both of those available. There will be refresh and recharge stations located around the convention center at various times. So just kind of be on the lookout for those. As I already mentioned, some of the sessions will be at the convention center, some will be at the Marriott, so just keep an eye out on what the location actually states. Regional meetings will be on Thursdays at 3:30 to 4:30, and they will be followed by regional photos, and then it will go straight into the national meeting. So hopefully many of you can join us for that. Our closing celebration, don't forget your badge, that will be on Saturday from 6 to 9, and then make sure you meet new people. All right, I kind of hinted at this already. This is a little bit of a new trial run that we're doing for some reserved style events. So this is a first come, first serve basis. We are using the Cvent app and the attendee hub to give access to a limited amount of ticket inventory. So this will be for all of our box lunches, the Shiptina's luncheon, the industry luncheon, as well as Star and STEM. It's first come, first serve. You can add them to your session. You can add the session to your agenda, and that will be your reservation. When you show up to the room, you will just share your badge. We'll scan you in. That's how you will get access. If you are not able to attend, your schedule changes or something, we just ask kindly that you release your seat so that somebody else can take the seat. If you aren't there within 10 minutes of the session starting, we will allow somebody else to come in and take the seat. We are utilizing the Cvent app for everything. So either releasing seats, so if somebody doesn't show up, we will release the seat and somebody else can pick it up and come in. We're really trying to eliminate all lines. So this is going to be your reservation system as to whether or not you can get in. You can't pass your reservation off to somebody else. So if you let it go, it's free market. There is a chance that you could try to time it with a friend and hopefully they'd pick it up immediately as you let it go. But that is how the reservation system will work. Some other ticketed events, as I mentioned, is the Excellence in STEM Luncheon and the Star Awards Gala. We are releasing an amount of tickets. We've released a few. We're going to release some more this week, so definitely keep an eye out for the email if you'd like to join us for those. And these ones you will have to have added it to your agenda, and we will have to scan you in. Hospitality suites. So I touched on this briefly, but I just want to make sure everybody knows the hospitality suites are by invitation only this year. There will be no standby lines. The best chance for you to receive a ticket to the hospitality suite, and I will let you know, a lot of our partners are already reviewing the Career Center, so please get your resume in there. Some of them may reach out ahead of National Convention and tell you that they'd like to give you a ticket to their hospitality suite, and they will decide where they meet up with you on site. So there is a good chance that you might already get a hospitality suite ticket before you ever arrive. We are only doing lineups in Hall C. You have to have a physical ticket given to you by a sponsor in order to get into the room to line up for the hospitality suites. We are not announcing any locations for the hospitality suites. This is intentional. We don't want people to line up for it. We want to make sure that you all have a great experience. And we want to make sure that we are trying to mitigate some of the lines. If you finish in a hospitality suite we're only lining up, 5:30 on Wednesday and 6:30 on Thursday for the hospitality suites. You will be escorted to your hospitality suite after you get in the line. If you finish at a hospitality suite, we are allowing people to jump to other hospitality suites as long as the amount of guests that they have already had, already given tickets to has already gone through their hospitality suite. If they have not, they won't be accepting additional guests into their room. We want to make sure that if you've been given a ticket that you get time with the sponsor. Then in addition to that, if you receive more than one invitation, congrats, kudos to you. You'll just need to prioritize which hospitality suite you would like to go to first, and then you can get you can head to the next hospitality suite once you're finished in that one. I would highly recommend don't harass your recruiters. I don't think it would probably benefit you, and they probably wouldn't give a ticket. I think it's in your best interest to make sure that it feels like it's a positive experience on both ends. Career fair. A few other things that are a little bit of a change up for this year is that we have split the career fair into two groups. There's a group A and a group B. Group A will go first on Friday, and group B will go first on Saturday. Lineup is happening 2 hours before every career fair group. We will not open doors for lineup until that time frame, so 6 a.m. or 12 p.m. Nothing will be available to get into the registration lineup until those times. We will not open doors. There will be no changes to the group assignments. They are completely randomized. We send them to CVent and they're going to handle it on our behalf. I just can't stress this enough. There's a million reasons why a certain time may not work for everybody. It would take us days to try to accommodate all of the requests that we would get. So please don't email about it. We will not change the career fair time. All right. As I said, attendees will be randomly assigned to a group. If you had registered before the regular registration ended on October 14th, you will receive an email before the end of this week letting you know which career fair group you have been assigned to, and it will also add only that one to your agenda. So you will not see, if you get assigned to group A, you will not see group B at all in your agenda. So just as an FYI, you will only see one of the options. You will also have a lanyard color, and it will also be printed on your badge. So all of these things would have to match in order for you to have access to the career fair lineup. As soon as the group of attendees has finished at the career fair, we will ask everybody to leave after that time slot is done so that we can clear the room and then start lining up for the next session. And we are also keeping interview slots open for Saturday as well. All right, University Village, as I mentioned, this is a new feature that we're having this year. We're really excited about it. Actually sold out. So we have lots of universities that are going to be exhibiting, universities and colleges that are going to be exhibiting in University Village. I think that this is going to be a really exciting place. Our graduate track has done a lot of amazing programming that we also will be including in there. So I think this is a great new feature, but obviously University Village encompasses our community college, our our chapter advisors, as well as some of our STEM research competitions and our cybersecurity and academic Olympiads. So we're really excited about this. Something else new that we're doing this year is called the Leadership Wardrobe. We've had some amazing sponsors, Amazon and Bank of America, that have graciously donated a lot of professional business attire that you all can come by and pick out at no cost to you. Please stop by the Leadership Wardrobe. These are the hours, and we have some dressing rooms set up in there, and there'll be a lot of stuff to pick from: jewelry, accessories, everything, you name it. So definitely stop by and check it out. All right. After any of the sessions that you attend, I would highly recommend that you complete the session survey. This is not only for our presenters, but also for SHIP staff and leadership, so that we can understand what's the value proposition for all of you as you attend these sessions, what you liked, what you found was valuable. All of this information is really important to us as we start to build out our future national convention. So please, please, please make sure you fill out the surveys. Security and lines. So I know I've been talking a lot about how we've been trying to change things to make all the line processes better, hopefully this year. So as I mentioned, we are opening the building and registration at the same time on Wednesday and Thursday. We will open the building at 6 a.m. and you will be able to line up for the career fair at 6 a.m., but we will not open registration until 7 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. We are not doing any bag checks this year. We are going completely with what they call an open gate system. The open gate system is a walk-through system, so you'll literally get through the security line. What I've been told is they can process up to 2,500 people in an hour. So this is a very quick, just walk-through system. So I'm really hoping that this makes things a little bit more seamless to get through security very quickly, that you can just head straight over to registration or straight over to the career fair lineup. Anybody entering the center does have to go through a security check though. There are no weapons allowed in the facility at all. This is the Philadelphia Convention Center rule. The only people that are allowed to have weapons inside are the on-duty local police officers that we have on staff. All right, I just want to point out a couple of things. These are good numbers for you all to kind of keep either in your phone or just to note. So the on-call emergency number is the number listed up top there if you want to save it in your cell phone. That is in case of, any emergency in the building that is medical, could be fire, anything that you need in regards to life-threatening emergency situations, that's the phone number to call. The number below it, the 4911, there are house phones all over the convention center. They're either black or beige. You can dial 4911 from that phone and you will hit the security command. The reason why I just want to point out these numbers to everybody is that we actually have a police department located inside the Philadelphia Convention Center that will access that police department quicker than anything else. So calling General 911, it will take us longer to get external dispatch to get somebody in the building. So my recommendation is to utilize either one of these numbers. They will get you quicker assistance. There's also a SHIP emergency phone, which I'm just going to say is non-life threatening. But if you had an emergency and you need to access somebody on SHIP staff, that is the phone number to call. It will also be located in room 103 and we're monitoring it 24/7. So if you need anything, even if it's outside of the convention center and you need to reach somebody, you are welcome to call that phone number. We do have 2 security desks. They're physical. They're located inside the convention center. One will be at the Broad Street entrance. The other one will be located at the Grand Terminal entrance. You'll literally see them right when you walk in the building, and there will always be a security officer at both of them. So if you need to reach somebody for a security need, there will always be a stationed security guard there. I also just want to mention that there is a medic station located in Hall D. So for any medical needs, you can absolutely head there. Otherwise, you're welcome to notify any of these numbers. And then just to note where the closest hospitals are. All right, as I mentioned already, we have magnometers, which is the open gate system that we'll be using at all of the main entrances. Everybody is required to have a badge on. So nobody can walk around the convention center without a badge. I know after Wednesday, that will become our mode of operation for our security team. So if they see you without a badge on, they will stop you because we want to make sure that everybody that is in the convention center is supposed to be in the convention center. The convention center is monitored 24/7 by closed circuit cameras. We also have security guards, security supervisors, security managers, and police officers hired for this event, in addition to 2 medics. If you have a medical emergency, as I mentioned, we already have EMTs on site, and I mentioned that it'll be in Hall D. If you can't get to an EMT, you are welcome to alert any staff, committee, or volunteer member, and they can call for one for you. Just make sure you keep the area clear so that EMT can get to it, and just stay calm. If in the incidents that we did have to evacuate the building, there will be alarms that would go off and you will hear an announcement over a PA system. You may even get an update on your app. So just be alert if any information comes out that we would need to evacuate. In worst case scenario, that's how you would get the information. There are plenty of emergency exits all around the building. So if you need to access one wherever you're located inside the building, I would just make note of where you see the emergency exits, but there's quite a few. All right, community expectations, professional behavior, SHIP code of conduct, and how to report issues. So as everybody knows, SHIP has a lot of inclusive behaviors and we stand by them. So I want to just make sure that we just call these out, be authentic, be brave, be a good listener. This is why we're Familia. So we want to make sure that we abide by all of our inclusive behaviors so that we all have a great experience on site. Again, if you need to access our SHIP code of conduct, you can scan this QR code and it'll take you right to it. If you need to do any on-site reporting, you are welcome to email the events@ship.org. We have somebody monitoring that email 24/7 if somebody's not observing the SHIP code of conduct. And then we also have a form for member behavior and conduct that is going to be monitored between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. during the event. So if anything happens, somebody is reviewing it in real time. And if we need to escalate any issues, that will be sent to us directly so that we can address them and appropriately resolve them quickly. All right, social media, hashtag ship2025 or hashtag some champions rise. So make sure when you're on site that you're utilizing these hashtags. So it will definitely attach to all of our social media channels. Helpful reminders, as I already mentioned, don't forget the ship code of conduct, dress to impress, be on time for your scheduled events and your interviews, be positive and engaging, and then safety first. If you see something, say something. And then just some additional life hacks for ship. Stay hydrated. Don't forget to eat. Be mindful when you're walking to and from the center. Definitely stay in groups. Always have your badge on you for security purposes. Take your phone and laptop chargers with you. Comfortable shoes, sleep, and make sure you leave a little space in your bag. General information, Ship Central, as I mentioned, is anything related to membership information, regional leader, scholarship information, and more. Mercado, no cash at the Mercados, only cards are accepted. Pre-orders would need to be picked up before 2 p.m. on Saturday. If you purchase a t-shirt or lapel pin prior to National Convention, you would pick it up at the Mercado before 2 p.m. on Saturday. Saturday, there are no sales, only pickups. And then just make sure you check the weather. And then traveling back home, make sure you use Lyft, Uber to transfer from the hotel to the airport if you can, but we also listed a few of the public transportation options in earlier slides. You're welcome to take those. Get there 2 hours before your departure just to be safe. Don't forget to empty all your water, your liquids. Check out at the front desk. Review your folios and make sure that you have filled out all your surveys, and then safe travels home. All right. Thank you, everybody. I saw the chat kind of popping up. I'm not good at multitasking or reading while I'm talking, so I'm sure there's a few questions that maybe got into the chat or the Q&A, so I'm here to answer.
Yes, they actually did, and we've answered all of them, I believe, but we do have one hand up, so we'll keep it open here. What we ask is to please just raise your hand, and then I'll allow you to unmute yourself if you have any questions too. We did have one hand up, but it looks like the hand went down, so their question might have already been answered some point of the PowerPoint slide. I'm just re-looking through the webinar chat, making sure that we didn't miss any questions, but again, feel free to raise your hand and we will unmute you to ask your question. And let's see. I'm not seeing any. Will this recording be posted? This recording and PowerPoint slide will be shared.
Just to elaborate a little bit, it'll be in the convention readiness page of the website. We'll put it on there as soon as we have it ready. It will also be included in this Saturday's convention newsletter. And then it will also be included, a link to it will be included in the Know Before You Go newsletter, or Know Before You Go email that will be going out before convention. I'm not sure what day exactly yet, but if you want it right away, the best place to look is tomorrow to check out the convention readiness page of the website. I can put the link in the chat.
Thank you, Jen. Do you know if companies are already scheduling for interviews?
Yes, they are.
If we haven't been assigned for a suite, is it possible to have an interview on the career fair? Christian, are you asking, for example, if you have not received a hospitality suite ticket? Gotcha.
So just a note about the hospitality suites, they will email you in advance. There's a good chance that you'll get an email in advance, but also if you attend their workshops or while you interact with them throughout the convention on Wednesday and Thursday, they may just hand you a ticket. So it's in the sponsor's purview is to decide who gets to come to their hospitality suites. So it's not just going to be pre, it will also be on site. So they may just hand you a ticket in person. So you can get them just by engaging with the sponsors during the day on Wednesday and Thursday. We also intentionally scheduled any hospitality suites the same day of their workshop so that they have time to interact with our attendees.
What is the best course of action if I still have not received a hospitality suite or interview invitation? As Christine mentioned, they're not just for pre-convention. They'll be able to get them during on-site as a workshop, or if you run into them in the hall. So they'll be available.
I just want to elaborate a little bit on the last two answers. It's only the 20th now. So you should still upload your resume to the Career Center if you haven't done that already. A lot of the sponsors, some of them started October 1st, they started looking and they started doing invitations and have continued to check back and look for more resumes even after that. Some of them, like many of us, procrastinate, put it off to the last minute, and they'll just start looking this week. So it can't hurt to put your career fair, to put your resume in the Career Center now. I would do that even after convention. Like, it never hurts to put your resume in the Career Center. And then I'll say, back to the question about the hospitality suite versus interviews at the career fair, we do have an interview booth. One of the halls is all interview booths. So essentially what it is when you go to if you get invited to a hospitality suite, you might get invited to come for an interview when you're at the hospitality suite. If you're when you go to the career fair, you might be invited at the career fair to go for an interview in the interview booth. So you have both of those opportunities to get invited for an interview on site. And beyond that, a lot of the companies will invite people for interviews after the convention. So if they're not going to get through all the interviews on site, they'll be scheduling interviews for you post convention as well. So I just wanted to clarify, like, there's lots of different ways to get a job and get an interview when you're on site. So don't worry if you haven't been invited yet.
Thank you. That's a great answer, Jen. Another one that is in the chat, I've checked the schedule for companies luncheon and they're all unavailable.
And just to mention on that, so we're releasing inventory. The reason being is not everybody obviously had registered for national convention yet. So we're doling them out in smaller quantities. So we will release another amount this week. The email will go out that will let you know, and then it will say that there's inventory available. So right now it's saying there's nothing available because we haven't released any more seats, and the ones that we have released have already been reserved. So we will release more inventory, and then it will say it's available at that time. I will say, please check for your emails. The first amount of inventory went in about 10 minutes. So I would highly make sure that you check out for the email, keep a watch out for it. Because I think there are people that are watching for the ship emails and they obviously want the opportunity to have access to these items. So I would highly encourage everybody to keep looking for the ship emails. We had I don't know for all of you that may have experienced it, but with the AWS outage today, it's pushed back a couple of the things that we were hoping to do this week. So just as an FYI, we were hoping to get a lot of this done a little bit earlier, but we're playing a little bit of catch up, as I'm sure the rest of the world is. I'm double checking if there was.
I have more questions in the chat that I can read off as well.
Sure.
Are all the workshops that will be offered updated, or will more companies add more workshops still?
I think at this point, we're almost 100% there. There might be some tweaks to a couple of the sessions, but anything that we have confirmed is definitely listed at this point. If anything, it might just be a speaker might change.
And do you register for the workshop through the app?
We're allowing this year that people can add we'd like everybody to start adding things to their agenda on purpose, because it does help us understand maybe where the demand is going to be and what you all are interested in attending and other things. It will not be a reservation system though for the workshops. So you do need to get there and make sure that, and Jen, do you remember, I think we said a half hour before the workshops will be open for everybody to enter.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
I think
I believe it's 15 minutes before they can
Oh, is
go
it
in.
15?
Yeah.
Sorry, 15 minutes, sorry.
No problem. Okay, next in the chat, are these invitations to hospitality suites only for full-time positions or with internships as well? This is my first time attending SHIP and I'm trying to understand.
I think it depends on the company. It's going to be different scenarios for each of them. Some of them will be hiring for internships. Some will be hiring for full-time positions. This has also been intentional as to why we've left the invitation process in the hands of the sponsors, so that They're doing the due diligence to make sure that those that they're inviting to the hospitality suites are the correct profile for what they hope to be hiring for. I think in the past it has been a little bit hard to make sure that the people in the room were the right fit for what they were actually advertising for. So we're making this an intentional change.
If we get there late, can we go to attendee registration any time of the day?
You can, as long as it's during registration hours. So registration hours, if I'm not mistaken, Ally, correct me because I'm not looking at the slide, but I think it's 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursday.
Correct.
6 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm sorry, Wednesday, Thursday, and then it changes for Friday and Saturday.
Correct.
The
Friday
7
7 to 5 and Friday 7 to 5 and Saturday 7 to 3:30.
Yes. So yes, you can stop by anytime registration is open.
The next one, besides resumes, what else should we bring? For example, business cards.
I would highly encourage if you have any form of communication that you can get to somebody that leaves a lasting impression, I would bring it. So yes, resumes, business cards, anything that you can give to a sponsor, I don't think is a bad idea. Jen, I don't know if you have any other recommendations of things that are good.
No, just comfortable shoes. Cannot emphasize that enough. Also, you all, there's a question in the actual Q&A too.
Let me take a look as well. Let me hop back and forth. The Q&A says my preferred name differs from my legal name. If there's a difference on my ID, will they ask me to reprint my registration?
I feel like that's a registration question. I'm not 100% sure, but let me check and see if
I can
will-
message Meredith if you wanna.
Yes, please, if you
Perfect.
don't mind.
Okay, so the next question in the chat as well says, for my profile, does SHIP have examples that I can look at? It is my first time going to convention. And I want to clarify, I'm assuming this is your attendee hub profile. Ivan, if you're online, if you want to unmute yourself and to clarify. Yes, it is your attendee hub profile. Okay, I just see, sorry. I don't believe we have any examples for profiles. Everybody's kind of has their own, they make their way of what they believe is best to go on their profiles for the attendee
You may
hub.
want to check out others though, and just see what else other people have done or added into theirs. I think it's a little bit personal in the sense of what you want to share. So you may want to check out some other attendees and see what information that they're sharing. It could be good.
Another great question, how can we find workshops? Should we type workshops on the app to search for it and add it to our schedule?
If you go to the agenda, you should see majority of your days, I would say on Wednesday and Thursday are workshops. The luncheons are gonna hit that lunchtime hour, but everything else that's pretty much programmed during the day would be your general workshops. They all have different titles, but there is a filter in the attendee hub and on the app. And when you go to the filter, you can make a selection for workshops.
All right.
I would just want to clarify, not everything's called, it's not called a workshop. So like, don't put the word workshop in and search. That's not gonna work. What you
But
want
it's filtered by something, right, Jen?
well, there's general sessions, I think, is where a lot of them are. But I think if you just look at the agenda for things that are going on, and if you Google hospitality suites, not Google, I'm sorry. If you put hospitality suites in, there are 2 listings, one for each day, and it shows what companies have hospitality suites. So then you could say, okay, Amazon is doing a hospitality suite both nights. So then search the agenda for Amazon to see what sessions they're doing before their hospitality suites. So that way, if that's what you're trying to do, if you're trying to get an invite to a hospitality suite, that's the way I would go at it.
I think that also leads to this question also to here that I see in the chat says, how could we network with companies before the career fair on Friday and Saturday? Is it through workshops? What if there are companies that do not host workshops?
There's lots of networking events, but I would say going to their sessions, going to any of the networking events that you see in there. So for example, the, like, I don't know which breakfast, or well, not breakfast, I'm sorry, which like kickoffs there are.
Shiptina's is on
Wednesday.
Wednesday. I think you
Mhm.
have a few you have the professionals inclusion and Shiptina's, I think, on Thursday night. Um, there are the lunches, a few of them, but I will say majority of the access probably to sponsors ahead of their workshops, which is why we made sure to schedule their workshops the same day as their hospitality suites are going to be to attend their workshops. Otherwise, they may have already reached out before national convention. So again, it's making sure you get that resume in the career center.
All right, and I see one here also too. What are charlas?
Chats. They're chats. I think they already happened though, right?
Yeah, I believe they answered, they happened before. There's another one in the chat that is more, it's a question, but it's asking someone's, basically it says, I'm a senior part of my university's 4+1 program, master's degree in 1 year after senior year. Should I say during my pitch that I'm a senior or a master's, or should I say I'm looking for internships or new grad positions? Which one would open more doors?
I would recommend talking to your your maybe like your regional leaders or your chapter leaders and ask them that question. Or also there is a group me. So I don't know if you're in the group me. Let me find the link for the group me, but that has several thousand other members who are going to convention, and they're all giving each other advice on questions like this. So I don't know if Allie or Christine has advice on this, but I know it's definitely out of my wheelhouse.
I would say it's also out of my wheelhouse as well.
But let me try to find the group
I
me.
think I'm not sure. I think it really depends on,
I think it depends on the companies and how it all
yeah.
goes and how
Because
you
some
present
companies
yourself.
are going to be hiring for internships and some are going to be saying that they've got, new graduate positions. So I think it really just depends on the conversations that you're having. Some of them might be very direct about what they're hiring for. So, I think it just really depends on, um, I think you should ask the question maybe before you have your pitch, so to speak, is to say, what are you hiring for? Internships, new grad positions, post grad, whatever. But I think it's really about the conversation that you have with each sponsor that's going to give you the intel as far as how you should guide the discussion based on what your goals are too. Some people may not want to do internships or they may have already done their internship. So I think it's really about the conversation that you're having with each sponsor.
There is a question in the Q&A. I believe we'll have to definitely find the answer for. Is there any specific list of companies willing to sponsor international students on OPT CPT? We will have to ask our external relations company on that one.
Oh,
I just put the group me link in the chat, and I would definitely recommend if you're on here that you join that, because a lot of these questions are things that are being discussed in there, and you have a lot of sort of senior people with a lot of experience answering the questions. And I think they also, they've built a list of a spreadsheet of all of the companies and the links for applying for things, and it's just a very useful chat, I think, for those of you, especially if it's your first time coming to convention.
Okay, I don't see any other. Christian, he just says he's going alone. Any advice to connect? I would say definitely utilize the mobile app on there as well to see who will be attending. I know there's a feature in there as well that you're able to connect with other registered attendees. Okay, any other questions in the chat or in the Q&A? I'm not seeing any others.
I didn't hear back from Meredith about the badge question, so what I would just say, Alex, is send an email to
Registration.
registration@ship.org to ask that question. We just want to make sure that, you know, what you have on your badge is what you want on your badge, but that your ID works. And then, Luis, there isn't a specific list of companies that we have that's willing to sponsor international students. But again, that GroupMe chat has a lot of discussion about that. So I would just check that out.
All right. I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat or in the Q&A, and we're right at the 6 o'clock mark. Where can we find this recording? It will be posted in the convention readiness. It will also be sent out in the newsletter as well. Did I miss anywhere else, Jen, on where this recording and the PowerPoint slides will be shared?
Yeah, you know, that's right. And I'll say, if you scroll up in the webinar chat, you'll see a link to the convention readiness page where the recording will be posted. Also, there is another question: is there a database we can access for the companies that sponsor from SHIP? Again, I want to refer you to that GroupMe chat. They have started a database, and also they shared the Florida State University every year does a database that they released last Friday that we put in the convention newsletter. And it's also shared in that GroupMe chat. And I don't know if it's on the convention readiness page, but it will be soon.
Thank you, Jen. All right, if there's no other questions, everybody have a wonderful night, and we'll see you at convention.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
See you in Philly.